Yeah, we've picked up a few knocks. Kiefer's had to leave us. He's had to leave camp. He was struggling with his back, and as far as we're concerned, it was job done. He's helped play a massive part in getting us to the World Cup, and that's what full focus was on, getting him fit to play that game. We give him a few minutes against Poland to get him ready for that game, and common sense now. We want him fit for the start of next season. We want him fit for our camp in September. As much as we want to win games of football now, and prepare for the World Cup, because we're limited with the games we've got. We've probably got 4 games now, I think it is, before the first game against the USA. But it's important that we have him do a full pre-season, because last season he didn't as well, and that has an impact on players. So we need him fit, ready for September, and then the World Cup. Joe Morrell has broke his toe, so he had to come off, and he's got a broken toe. So again, he puts himself out of it. Wardy's struggling with his knee, so he won't be involved. And we've had a few other little minor issues, but nothing major, thankfully. So Wayne's okay to go. That's where we're at with injuries.
Are you having to make changes again now for tomorrow?
So I think you've seen the transition that we've made. The game against Poland was obviously with nobody that was going to be involved in the final, but because of the final on the Sunday, that had an impact on team selection against Poland. The game against Holland, again, had an impact because of the final. Some players couldn't go again. Now this one's slightly different, so we'll pick a team that we want to go out and again compete and win a game of football. And again, with one eye on planning for the World Cup, how we want to play, what we want to do, irrespective of who the opposition is, whether it's Belgium, Holland, Poland. We're now thinking of what we need to do and what we might come up against in the World Cup and plan accordingly. So there'll be a few things that we'll try tomorrow.
Rob, you worked really hard to get to this elite Group A, that stage. Do you feel you've almost suffered because of the fixtures and because it has to be played now, and everybody realised that your World Cup playoff final was rightly the focus for the opening week or so? How do you think that's affected you? Are you sort of disappointed that the way it's been scheduled? Yeah,
there's no guarantees in football, Rob, is there? But I believe that if we'd have had our strongest 11 available, and that's no disrespect to the lads that played against Poland whatsoever, but if we'd have had our team that we could have selected for the final, there's no guarantees, but I believe we'd have had a different result. So you start the Nations League with a win against Poland away, and then you can pick a team again then to go and play against Holland because of the final in the middle, which was unfortunate circumstances, of course, but if we'd have had it our own way, then we could have done without that final, caught up in all these games, because we've wanted to get promoted from B to A. We've got it. We're playing against the best opposition in the world, but we haven't really given ourselves the best chance because of that final in between. And the biggest message I've given to the players after the defeat against Holland was, you give yourselves a great opportunity to get a good result against a Dutch team, a very good Dutch team. I thought we played some great football at times, honestly, and we just have to be ruthless. And when you give top teams half a chance, it's in the back of the net. That's the difference from getting promoted from B to A. Teams in League B, you can give them 2 or 3 chances and you might ride your luck a little bit. These, given half a chance, they're ruthless. So we have to learn from that. And we spoke about how we could have maybe made a good tackle on the halfway line and dealt with it there and then got everybody back into a shape and defended the last couple of minutes of the game.
And Belgium, they showed their quality bouncing back really well. But you've played them a few times. Regular opponents of Wales, aren't they? No fears for your players?
No, we've said we don't fear anybody, Rob. We don't. We're at this level because we've earned the right to be at this level. So we don't fear anybody. We absolutely respect them as a team and as a nation. And the manager's outstanding, and what he's done has been brilliant. I don't think he'll ever go away from his beliefs, how he wants to play. So we're expecting irrespective again of whatever the starting 11 is, we're expecting a tough challenge and similar principles as to what he's always had. So it'll make for an entertaining game and a tough game from us. But like I said, we'll be ready for it.
And just finally for me, I know you've been focusing on these games, but you said something interesting. Just 4 games now before the World Cup. There's no scope for any sort of friendlies as far as you're concerned. And how much are the players now playing to get on our plane?
Yeah, every game, of course they are. Yeah, there's no scope for friendlies because we just physically don't have the time, Rob. From when the last Premiership game is to when we meet up to when we fly to Qatar to play the first game against USA on the 21st. There's just no opportunities to have that friendly game, and we haven't got a big enough squad. We've not got a squad of 40 players that we can take that chance with. You know, we're going to have to pick a squad of 26, 23, whatever it is, and ride our luck a little bit as well, and make sure that it's the days in between the games that are really important to us to get our best players recovered and ready for the next game.
Gary,
cheers.
Do you want to go next?
Hey, Rob.
Hi, Gary.
Just coming back to that, how do you use the 4 games you've got? Because you've obviously still got Nations League points in place, but then you've got the 2 games in September. How do you practically use them? Are you again in the situation where you, like the World Cup playoff final, you're actually planning for something rather than the games you're playing in? Is that the situation you're effectively in?
Yeah, we've picked a couple of knocks up because of the demands of the final and what we've thrown into that. We want to win every game we go into. We wanted to win against Poland. We wanted to win against Holland in midweek, and we'll want to win the game tomorrow. But we have to be mindful that some of those players have had a long season. Some of the players are carrying knocks. I don't now want to jeopardise them for September as well. So it's getting the balance right. You know, of course we want to stay in this division. Of course we do. The main focus coming into this camp was to qualify for a World Cup. That box is ticked, and now I think you've seen in the team selection that I've picked. The first game was completely without the lads from the final. The second game was a blend of both, and this tomorrow now will be a different 11 again.
Listen, you have a number of headaches, but it is a great headache. You're going to a World Cup, but unfortunately you're playing catch up to a degree. Are you going to be going out to Qatar anytime soon to have a look, so you can get your head around rather than relying on reports from others?
Yeah, we've had staff go out. Strudge has gone out and more or less selected the hotel and the training facilities that we've got. So we've already sort of pre-planned just in case. I didn't want to go out because I didn't want to chance my luck. But now that it's official, and I don't know if you know, but we're off to the World Cup. I might.
Repeat that again.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, we're definitely going out. Yeah, as soon as the camp's over, we've planned as a group of us. The heads will be going out and crossing the T's and dotting the I's on training facilities again and the hotel and making sure everything's in place.
What you've seen, are you happy with what you're getting?
Absolutely. Yeah, the training facilities are second to none. It's similar to what we can create in Baku as well. I thought the team that went out pre-camp, pre-tournament, done a great job, and you know, we have confidence again in them to go over and set it all up for us ready for when we get there.
And I don't know whether it's clear yet. When do you get the players? I'm taking on board the answer you gave. You haven't got a squad of 50 players. You've got a limited squad. When do you get them ahead of the World Cup? I know it's not long.
Yeah, 8 days before the first game. Yeah, on the Sunday. So the last game is on the Sunday. The Premiership season will be on that Saturday and Sunday the week before. So that Sunday evening we'll be holding our breath, crossing our fingers, get everybody fit through the door, and then we'll have a couple of days together before we probably fly out on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and then acclimatise to the conditions, and we'll literally have maybe 3 or 4 sessions on grass before we play the first game in the World Cup.
Just a quick one back on the injury side of things, what you picked up for this Belgium game. Can you just update us on Wayne? Is Wayne okay to play potentially tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Wayne's fine, yeah.
And just a last one for me as well, just in terms of Belgium. How do you approach maybe their attitude to the game? Because we were all obviously on the Wednesday looking, we're losing against Poland, then it's 1-1, and then we look at our score at the end of the game. I think you got asked as well, you said, yep, seen the score.
Yep.
How do you approach this game? What are you looking for from your players? What are you looking to learn as well?
We approach it like we have done every other time we've played them. I thought we were magnificent in November when we come across them. We had to get the point and to guarantee that we finished in second place. And I thought we were good for a win at the end of it as well, with how we pressed late on, how we went after them, and we weren't just happy with the draw. There'll be no different for us. This is about us planning for the World Cup as well. And when you play in a World Cup, you're going to be playing against the likes of Belgium, Holland. And like I said, there was aspects of the game against Holland. We're disappointed with the defeat, of course we are. But the bigger picture is some of the play, some of the way how we kept the ball with some of those younger players was excellent. And there was a lot of positives to take out of that. And it'll be the same tomorrow. It'll be about what we can get out of tomorrow's game. We will approach it like we do every other game. You know, we want to be resolute, hard working without the ball. And with what we've got on the pitch tomorrow, we know that we can hurt them as well. Thank you.
Lawrence, do you want to go next?
Yeah, cheers, Rob.
Hi, Lawrence.
Have you got one eye on the players starting the season? Because it is an incredibly quick turnaround, isn't it, from this into the start of the new season's domestically?
Yeah, of course. I've been a domestic manager myself. You know, I want Kiefer fit. I could risk him. We could put meds into him and we could mask the pain. Of course we could. We can do that with all the injured players, but it's got to be a common sense approach as well. And I'm not going to push players to the brink of not being able to do a pre-season. Kiefer had it last summer. He didn't do a pre-season. It caught up with him. It does when players miss pre-season. So no, there's no point in me pushing him and having him for tomorrow on Tuesday, and then putting him out of a pre-season. That'll have a knock-on effect to September, and then, you know, of course, then a knock-on effect to the World Cup in November. So I'm not going to do that to the players. So of course, yeah, it's one eye on the start of the season for them.
And Gareth's doing a press conference today. We assume he's fit for this game. And can you give us an idea of how he's holding up in terms of training? He's had the intensity, he's had the games. Like, how is he feeling in that?
Great. I mean, ask him the question later. But he's looked fine, no problems at all. We manage the days in between the games, of course, because we want him fit for the games and not the training sessions. So that needs a little bit of tweaking, but no different to what we've always done with the senior players. Aaron's in a similar case to Gareth. So no, he's looked good. He's trained today, and he'll be fit to play.
And what's it been like since qualifying? Like, how have you managed to keep your mind on the games and all that kind of stuff in terms of the players and the evenings and what have you?
Well, looking at the footage of Holland beating Belgium so convincingly brought me back down to earth pretty quickly. And it was, as much as we had a good night on Sunday and celebrated rightly so, by the way, all together, you soon brought back down to earth with a bump, and full focus went into planning for a tough game against Holland. All right, the result didn't go for us, but great experience for those younger players, because like I said, we're not just building for success now. World Cup, brilliant. It's the future. We want to continue now with this back-to-back qualifications to major tournaments. So yeah, that's where we're at with it.
And there's 23-man squads, isn't it, for the World Cup as things stand? Would you like to see it increase like it was in the Euros?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, if it's 23, we have to get on with it. But I'd like to see maybe 26 and give us the luxury then of taking a couple of others, and like we did in the Euros, exposing some of the younger ones to it as well. Thank you.
Okay, Gareth's arrived. We've got a couple of minutes. Any more questions for Rob? Yeah, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
You mentioned the lack of chances that you'll have to link up with your players. I think September after this one would be the only one. In that sense, how important is it that the players that aren't playing regularly at club level get the moves they need? You know, you look at Ethan Ambidou, Nico Williams, they were playing regularly when they got their moves.
Yeah, it's a great point. It gives us an opportunity now to have those conversations with the players. I'm going to use Joe Roden as an example. I think Joe's been outstanding. I think for what he's done in the couple of games that he's played for us, has been exceptional, considering he's not playing at club level. So, you know, I think he can go to another level. He's been very good, but I think there's more to come from him. And I think he can achieve that by playing week in, week out at domestic level. So, you know, he's a Premiership player. If you were to draw a Premiership player, it's Joe Roden to a T, isn't it? And he's got all the attributes, but he just needs to be playing week in, week out to again sustain that level that he's given us.
And have those boys given players like him advice, because they've seen the benefits of making those moves, whether it's on loan or permanent? Have they spoken to you about it personally as well? Because a lot of clubs are starting pre-season next week. It's really early.
Yeah, the lads know where they're at. In an ideal world, we want our players playing, of course we do. But we've done all right, haven't we, up to now? We've always had that sort of scenario where the players are turning up on camp and they're not playing at club level, but when they put the jersey on for Wales, they go and give an unbelievable performance. And it's because of those performances that we sat here today talking about the World Cup. So I'm not overly concerned about it, but in an ideal world, like I said, for us to go to that next level and sustain it, then I think it's important that we need the majority of our players playing week in, week out.
Okay, thank you. Diolch. Well, we're going to get Gareth in now, sorry. Okay, thank you. Diolch.
Thanks, everyone.